Hello City fans, hope you're doing fantastically well. It's Conor here and we are back with another preview. Bournemouth away, Bournemouth, the South Coast. Can City go down there and pick up a victory? I think when you're looking back to the last game, when City played Bournemouth, it was a pretty obvious task. It was a pretty well-identified option that City were going to go out there and really dismantle the Bournemouth side who were out of form and out of sorts really, and they did. City were fantastic on the day. This throws up a very, very different task for Manchester City. Obviously a really good win for Bournemouth last weekend against Wolves, who are resurgent themselves, aren't they, this season under Lopetegui. Really good win for them, keeping a clean sheet and giving themselves a chance to fight and stay in the Premier League. And that's one thing that we need to take into consideration, everybody. It's the fact that the teams in and around the bottom now are going to be fighting. They're going to be tugging for absolutely everything they can to get out of those relegation places. And we know, years and years of being around Manchester City in the Premier League, that as soon as it starts to get to this point of the season, things start to change. The teams in and around about the bottom start becoming a lot better. The performances are elevated, and that's because the stakes are so high at this moment in time. The Leipzig result for Manchester City proved that any team can really hurt City at their optimum at this moment in time. City aren't really able to kill teams off. It feels like we can't keep a clean sheet. City can't keep a clean sheet at the minute, and if you're not scoring, as we've mentioned on many other podcasts and reviews of games previously, if you're not scoring, you've got to keep them out of the back. And we've seen against Nottingham Forest, and we've seen against Leipzig now in consecutive games that City have really, really struggled. Now, Erling Haaland, there is a lot of emphasis put on Erling Haaland to be scoring for Manchester City, and for me, more individuals need to be stepping up. It's all well and good getting assists, it's all well and good, playing well, but actual goals need to happen now for Manchester City in those final third moments. And if Haaland isn't scoring, if the balls aren't being played through to Erling Haaland, what more can he do really? He needs assistance from Mahrez, he needs assistance from when Grealish. Those two have been excellent so far, but he needs more from the midfield as well. He needs more set pieces to go in so that the reliance isn't so heavy on the big Norwegian. So definitely something to take into consideration there. Pep, you expect he's going to stick with a front three of Mahrez, Haaland and Jack Grealish, obviously, but what will he do in the midfield? Could Phil Foden come into the midfield? We've seen ingenuity and innovativeness when it's come to Phil Foden in the cup competitions in midfield, but could he come in and do something similar in a league game when the stakes are really high? I'm not so sure, to be quite honest with you, because I think this season, Manchester City are at a point now where these things really need to start clicking, and there isn't enough time for me for trial and error. City have to go out there and City have to win games, and we all know Phil Foden's quality, but in games like this, is it a necessity to tinker? I'm not 100% certain it is. So yeah, for me, I'd almost keep it as it is with obviously the inclusion of Kevin De Bruyne, hopefully. And yeah, City have got a real big task this weekend, because I don't think it's going to be easy, but they've got to go out there and win the game. Obviously, Arsenal have got Leicester. This really could be an opportunity for City to get back into contention. City still have that game against Arsenal, that golden nugget against Arsenal at the Etihad. So playing up against Bournemouth could be a real opportunity. As I've said, with Southampton playing at Leicester have once again been on a bit of a resurgence at this moment in time. James Maddison's been absolutely superb. Could they falter there? There is a likelihood. They faltered there before. Can that happen again? And is this the correct moment for Manchester City to take charge of this title race, which seems to be ebbing and flowing? It seems to be swinging in both directions consistently. Team selection is probably the biggest question this week, guys, and I'm fascinated to hear your thoughts. Let us know in the comment section below. Make sure you like, commenting and subscribing as always, everyone, and we'll see you in a bit. Cheers.